Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
The black wealth of the river, rich silt from the high mountains. For many weeks now, we have been following the course of the two great tributaries of the Ganga to their sources in Garhwal in Uttar Pradesh.
We have seen the towering white peaks from whose snow melt the Bhagirathi grows. From there it tumbles over the rocks of Gaurikund, the color of milk toffee. Then it flows through the Kiplingist valley of Harsal, where it fights with and is enriched by the clear waters of the Jalandhari. Strengthened, the Bhagirathi now cuts a deep gorge for itself, rushing to its meeting with the other great tributary, the Alaknanda.
Meanwhile, the Vishnu Ganga, born in the glaciers above Badrinath, receives the blue waters of the mysterious Saraswati. It surges on to become the Alaknanda.
The Alaknanda continues to flow down its Himalayan valley, receiving chill ice melt waters from numerous little rills.
At Nanda Prayag, the waters of the Nandakini, born in the glaciers of the triple-peaked Mount Trishul, pour into the Alaknanda.
At Karnaprayag, the Pindar joins the burgeoning Alaknanda, gifting the flow of the Pindari glacier. Then, at the beautiful confluence of Rudraprayag, the coffee-colored waters of the Alaknanda receive the blue-green waters of the Mandakini.
Here, on the road, is the village of Gulabrai, famed for its association with Jim Corbett. From 1918 to 1926, a man-eating leopard killed 126 people in these hills. On the 2nd of May 1926, at 10 o'clock at night, it was shot dead at this spot by the great Anglo-Indian hunter Jim Corbett. The designs of man-eating leopards have given way to the designs of man. Above a dusk blue valley, we stopped and looked.
There, below us, was our goal, softened by the low light of evening. Prayag was stacked up the slopes of the river valley like a miniature painting, serenely beautiful. It filled a triangular wedge of land.
At the apex of the wedge, the fairly placid waters of the Alaknanda met the foaming waters of the Bhagirathi. It was a tumultuous meeting. After their confluence, however, both the Bhagirathi and the Alaknanda ceased to exist.
This Prayag, this confluence, marked the true beginning of the Ganga. In the shimmering darkness of the lesser Himalayas, we began to follow the descent of the Ganga to the great plains of India.
At Rishikesh, at long last, the Ganga emerges from the mountains. To celebrate the arrival of this life-giving stream, Rishikesh is a town full of temples, including multi-storied ones.
One of the temples on the right bank of the river rises in front of two entwining fig trees. It's called a Bharat Temple. Popular belief contends that it commemorates that epic hero who installed his brother's slippers and ruled as Lord Ram's regent. The image installed here has a distinctly Himalayan cast of features. The idol inside the temple is fashioned out of a single black stone. The temple is dedicated to Lord Mahavishnu, the preserver. Walking around the shrine, however, we saw images normally associated with the worship of Lord Shiva. Most significantly, perhaps, was a powerful image of the horn-crowned Lord of the Beasts, Pashupatinath.
One reason for the deep-rooted stability of Indian civilization is that, traditionally, it allows people to worship the way they choose to do. We joined pilgrims walking across the Lakshman Jhula Bridge. On the other side, the left bank of the river, are temples dedicated to a number of deities, serving thousands of worshippers every day.
We returned to the right bank by boarding one of the ferries. The skills of Indian ferrymen are legendary, and many tales have been written about them. Here we saw them using the strong currents of the river to their advantage, slipping crabwise across the powerful Ganga.
Other skilled water people also use the rippling muscles of the river. India has the largest number of whitewater rivers in the world, and river runners, to their great delight, have begun to discover their challenges. Rafting is a combination of the big splash of a water carnival and a merry-go-round. It has all the thrills of an adventure sport with few of its attendant dangers, provided your instructor is experienced and caring. You will, of course, get drenched, so dress to get wet.
Some people don't need a raft to enjoy the invigoratingly chill waters of the Ganga at Rishikesh. Though still young, the river here is no longer an awesome deity to be placated and worshipped. It has now become a young mother. People treat the Ganga far more informally now than they have been doing when she still roared through the Himalayas. Besides, the water is much warmer here. After the icy chill of the Himalayas, it is only pleasantly cool here, inviting one to bathe, swim, and do one's laundry. The pebbly banks become a huge picnic ground, with vendors of traditional snacks, card players, and those who relax under their buses. They even wash their cars and coaches on the stony strand. Later, they even use their buses as convenient awnings.
Most pilgrims come to Rishikesh by road. You can also come by train. Or, if you're in a great hurry, you can fly into the cheerfully named airport of Jolly Grant, 17 kilometers away. The visitors to Rishikesh have a fair choice of standard hotels. Rooms in these range from 1,100 rupees to 1,040 rupees. Others stay in the tourist bungalow, which offers double rooms from 120 rupees to 400 rupees. Many others opt for cheaper accommodation, often staying in one of the many pay what you can dharamsalas or ashrams like these. A tour of Rishikesh's hospices, as well as those of Hardwar, just 24 kilometers away, soon becomes a voyage of architectural discovery. Many of these were old mansions built in a more spacious age.
Haridwar should really be pronounced Haridwar, the door of Hari or Lord Vishnu the Preserver. This is where the Ganga formally enters the plains of India. This was clearly lunch hour for most pilgrims. In this busy street, a traditional chef produced piping hot puris. We lunched in this dhaba restaurant on stalwart vegetarian fare. Down the road was a kulfi ice cream vendor. This ingenious baker dispensed delicious naan-katai biscuits from a portable wood-fired oven.
Fortified, we boarded a cable car which offered excellent views of Hardwar. At its upper terminal station is Mansa Devi Temple.
At the bottom of the hill, and in Rishikesh, there are interesting bazaars. A vendor offered pressed and disposable leaf plates. They ranged from single thalis through the cup-like katoris to the multi-compartment cafeteria trays. Another seller peddled this herb, whose dry fronds become green after being soaked in water for 24 hours. Super nature at work, perhaps.
Another out-of-this-world mystery is the idol in the Sri Harihara ashram called the Parade Shivling. It is, reputedly, made of 151 kilograms of pure mercury. No one could explain to us how this metal, normally liquid, had become solid.
We returned to the ghats. The river is still very swift here, rippling with its sinews of currents. Nevertheless, a bath in the river at this spot is greatly valued by devotees. Many of them would plunge into the river regardless of the consequences. Bathers could very easily be swept away. At the famous Har Ki Pauri Ghat, parts of the river have been cordoned off by chains. Anyone can now plunge into the arms of Mother Ganga or float on a tire tube. Now you see him, now you don't. Now you might just about.
Some people prefer to cut the chains that bind them to this turbulent world. In Rishikesh, in particular, there are a number of organizations offering residential courses in meditation and yoga.
Yoga, as many people know, is a mental and physical discipline which activates your own latent powers. Yoke or harness is derived from the same Sanskrit word as yoga. Yoga yokes you to your own untapped potential. These exercises, under the watchful gaze of yoga masters, unlock self-rejuvenating systems which have remained dormant inside you under the pressures of modern living. Yoga practitioners have assured us that you can start yoga at any age. No competent yoga instructor will ask you to do anything which you cannot do comfortably. Your body sets its own pace and gradually becomes more flexible. Your internal resources begin to develop, making you glow with self-confidence and serenity.
The Ganga also glows.
Every evening at dusk, people gather on the steps of the Trimurti Ghat in Rishikesh. As darkness settles over this ancient town, temple bells and gongs tinkle and boom. Chosen devotees then light flaming oil lamps, and the stirring ceremony of Aarti begins. It invokes the Ganga, which has brought life to this land, and which renews the earth year after year after year. The Ganga is plated with gold.
A lone votive lamp floats out on the dusk-softened river, bobbing softly. In the forested darkness, where the Ganga flows, lies our elephant-haunted, friendly wilderness of Chilla.